film for a week on Super Mega SmackDown or whatever that episode was, and I cried, called my wife. It was a devastating decision, but I had to turn it down. So since then, we've had a couple of conversations about the new movie that just came out. Clearly, that didn't work out. But if it's written right, which is kind of the thing that I've always done with the character Jason, I'm only going to come back if it's well written, and you know, he's not going to be 3 seconds at the end of a film holding a camera. I think the original cast all deserve more than that. So that's my take on it. Unfortunately, Haim and I have never seen eye to eye, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't care what I think.
So you mentioned being the medic, right? Mm-hmm. And you're also a paramedic here in the States for a long time. Did you ever, in the process, I was a paramedic for a long time too, so in the back of the truck, you're doing your job, saving a life. Did you ever go, somebody ever go, you're the Red Ranger?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen while I was doing CPR. But, man, could you imagine? That just needs to be in a TV episode. Right. The guy's sitting there thumping away, and he wakes up. You're the Red Ranger.
That would make the papers, actually. That made the news. Red Ranger saved my life.
Oh, man. It never made the paper when I did that, though.
I know.
As a medic, you know.
Yeah.
Firefighters get all the glory. Police get all the hate. And medics are just kind of...
right in the middle.
Somewhere in Nowheresville.
Yeah.
You know, but that's okay. We don't do it for the fame. I did have a guy. It wasn't in the U.S. It was military personnel. He had fractured his arm pretty good, and gave him a sling, patched him up, and we're in the back of a Humvee, and I'm taking him into what we called the chop shop, because it was a tent, and we weren't really sure there were doctors in that tent, but people came out sometimes better and sometimes not, so we called it the chop shop. And we're hitting every bump, because no road in Afghanistan is smooth. And the guy's just kind of sitting there, and I'd just given him a big bolus of morphine, happy drugs, because his arm, bone was out of his arm. It's what we call a compound fracture. And so the happy drugs started hitting him, and I could see his eyes dilating, and he was starting to loosen up a little, and then he's sitting there, and I'm sitting next to him. It's kind of like... You know, because in my head, I can only play this out so many ways. Like, if I was high on morphine, and I'm looking over, and I think I see somebody that's a superhero, I might be afraid to voice my opinion. This guy's not going to give me any more drugs if I say what's on my mind. He's going to be like, no more for you. And so this guy, to his credit, you know, young guy, couldn't have been 20, 18 maybe. He's a PFC. Looks up at me again. And I can see him working it through, and he's working hard. And finally, he looks at me and goes, "Were you?" I was like, "Yeah." And that was the whole conversation right there.
That was the end of it right there.
That was it. So, it was a good time.
Question.
You keep up with any of the original cast?
Yeah, in fact, I just saw, Walter Jones is probably my best friend. I mean, 25 years I've known him. We've stayed tight since day one. Kind of like a big brother figure, really, for me. And then I saw all the rest of the cast at the premiere for the new film last year, so including the new cast. So that was pretty neat. But I see Dave on the road. I see Frank on the road. I see Amy Jo. I've seen a couple times now. Karen. There's a lot of new guys I haven't met, but there's like 100 Rangers now.
Yeah.
Like, does that blow anybody else? Did they
Right?
start killing people? What happened? Like 10 episodes, bang, you're dead, next.
I mean, I remember watching the Power Rangers like it was, not yesterday, but recently. And then you're like, there's been 40 different Power Ranger series since then. It's crazy, right?
And that's if you don't even go back to Japan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that's
in
just the
the
Americanized
70s,
one.
You know, I mean, those guys, they're probably looking at us going, those idiots done another 100 Rangers. What are they doing?
All right, we got a young man right here. Do you have any props?
No, I never took anything from the show. I think I'm the only honest guy on the show. Like everybody else has gotten gear, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have done that, but I didn't. Damn it.
Maybe you could have taken that $1,000 they offered you and bought replica gear.
Yeah, somebody told me my original Red Ranger suit sold for like $600,000 at Christie's.
Oh.
I was like, that should have been, like, if they knew how much I sweated in that thing,
Yeah, they might have paid more.
they wouldn't have paid that much. I
Yeah.
feel like you couldn't have given that to me. I mean, I hope that wasn't my stunt suit, because that was rough. That thing stunk.
Yes, sir.
The new film, there are definitely things I would have done different. I mean, I appreciate the efforts that they made, you know. I wouldn't, all I can think of is I wouldn't want to go back and be asked to be Captain Kirk. You know, there's only one. I wouldn't want to go back and be asked to be, you know, I don't know, some original character from a major series. Those are big shoes to fill. And, but each of the cast that did it, I think they did a great job as actors. My favorite character in the entire film was R.J. Silent. So I loved him. Loved his character. He was my favorite. I had issues with the Zords. Like, why are they barely bigger than 3-story buildings? Did you not see the TV series? They were like skyscrapers in the series.
Yeah.
And what happened to the Mastodon? Now we all know, I mean, okay, they're extinct. We've never seen a real one in life, but we know they only had 4 legs. We know this because we found bones. What were they thinking, putting 6 legs on this thing? It's not a cockroach. What are we doing? You know what I mean? So that bugged me. I love the new Zordon. I liked the way the new Alpha looked, but I hated his voice. And can anybody tell me, like, I was a little disappointed in the whole It's Morphin' Time thing. I actually missed it at the premiere. I'm sitting in the theater and I missed the It's Morphin' Time. I came out of the theater going, they didn't say It's Morphin' Time. Like, what the hell?
It's just a little flash in the pan done.
And then everybody else was like, yeah, they did. So I went and I saw it again. I was like, it's Morphin' Time. Like he was afraid of it. Right, yeah. So it was kind of one of those things where I missed that. I would like to have seen a little more guts behind that. Favorite scene in the movie, Jason pimp slaps the bully in detention. Yes. In my time, that would have been too violent. I wasn't allowed to hit anybody in the head, but that was awesome.
Isn't it?
Know if that was your first acting role and how you got into it.
It sure was. I was 17. I might have been typecast as a teenager with attitude, maybe. Yeah, definitely was. And they have what, in LA, they still hold on to this day for different shows and stuff. It's called a cattle call. At least that's what actors call it. And basically, they put out an ad in the paper and they say, if you want to come to this audition, this is the type of character we're looking for. And if you think you fit that image, then you go for the cattle call. I did not want to go to this thing. Somebody bet me, after nagging me 3 weeks to go to this audition, somebody bet me $20 I wouldn't be wasting my time if I went. Well, gas was 89 cents a gallon. I was like, that's a week's worth of gas. I'll go. I said, I'll take you $20. I got that. And I lost $20, and here I am.
So you're saying he's maybe do some residuals for getting you into it?
Only if I get residuals, which I definitely haven't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I gotta buy him a beer if I ever see him again.
Have you kept up with the new comic series at all? Do you like the way that they're portraying Jason?
I actually just got an entire collection from Boom Comics. They sent me everything, both the soft copies and a complete book, hardback, with all of the comics in it. And I just wrote the foreword for a comic that will be coming out, I think, in October, November for Boom. And it's a Jason-centric comic. As far as how they're writing it, I love what they're doing. It's they definitely changed some things around, and they've taken a little liberty, of course, but I really like what they're doing. I love it.
So piggybacking off of that real quick, and we're going to go here and we'll get you too. You're 17, you didn't want to go, you got the job, you figured out what it was, and I imagine within the first year or two you figured out you had something here, big, right? Would you ever imagine that you would have had the career you had, plus your own comic book at this point?
No.
How's it feel?
It's kind of surreal. you know, when I mean, I remember the first audition. The show was called Phantoms. My character's name was Victor. It was like a bad soap opera when I first showed up for this thing, and we got it. And I remember them saying, "Okay, we got the funding to do a pilot. We're going to shoot the pilot and see if the network will pick it up." And I'm reading the script, and I'm like, "It's morphing time. What is that? What is morphing time?" You know, and other stuff. I'm going to screen, and they had really bad graphics. Like, we would turn to the profile, and like my face would turn into a dinosaur. It was horrible. And I remember looking over at some of the other guys. It's like, if this gets picked up, it's going to be a miracle. And apparently, it was a miracle. So I had no idea though when it did. If you told me I would be here now, I wouldn't have believed you. In fact, it was so informal when we found out we were the #1 show in the world in 40 countries and 90 languages. The producer came downstairs. I was sitting next to Walter Jones. We're on set. We're in costume. And he comes down and he's got this very thick Israeli accent. And I'm going to screw up the Israeli accent, so bear with me. And he comes and he's like, guys, I want to let you know. You've been doing very well. You have a good time, good show. #1 in the world. Great ratings. Nielsen's love you. I'm like, Nielsen's? Oh, Nelson ratings. And he's like, good #1 show in the world right now. Good job. And I remember Walter and I, we'd been filming all day. We were tired as you know what. And we're just sitting there and we're looking at him. And I looked over at Walt. Walt looked at me. And I was like, did that just happen? And he's like, yeah. And we went right back to reading our scripts. That's how we found out. Our first year of filming was 12 to 16-hour days, 6 days a week. And Sundays were ADR. Or Saturdays were ADR. And then Sunday was the one day we got off. And I usually went to the gym and slept. So.
Right here.
I haven't seen any of the new shows. I don't watch the show. And I don't because I'm not really into, well, that's not true. I guess my kids, when they have it on, I see bits of what they have on. I think I love Megaforce. And I like that one because Azim is a friend of mine. So Azim Risk is a good guy. I liked his character. He's kind of the comic break for that series. I think there was another series. So I met all the Red Rangers. I didn't know how many there'd been. There'd been 1 million by now. And I was talking, in fact, I was at Power Morphicon in LA. And I was talking with the cast. I was like, you know, it would have been a trip. It would have been awesome if there had been a female Red Ranger. I'd love to see that. And apparently there was for 2 episodes. And I got to meet her, and she was hot. I was like, I didn't look that good in the suit. Good job. You know? So, I don't know. I'd have to have more time in my life to watch TV. I think I spend most of my time trying to make TV. Did 3 films last year, did a TV series last year. I'm producing or executive producing a video game called Black Salt, which I'll be premiering that in front of 100 million viewers at San Diego Comic-Con. We'll be streaming that.
Nice.
All Def Digital will be there, Twitch will be there. I mean, it's going to be massive. Okay.
Yes, sir. What would you do to improve the Red Ranger role in the new movie?
I think I would just be me. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I think, you know, all of these actors, they have a big job. He had to come in and reproduce one of the greatest characters in the entire series. That's not easy to do. So I take my hat off to, I think it's Decree or Dacree, I'm not sure how he says his name. Nice guy, and he did a great job. I think how I approached the role of Jason was much like my father and my mother. It was walk softly and carry a big stick. You never saw me get worked up. You never saw me get angry or emotional until I said it's morphing time. And then it was the gloves came off. And that was the transition for the high school guy who was there for his buddies and always put his team first into the warrior and the leader. So I think I would probably reapproach it like I did in the beginning. It seemed to have worked for a few folks.
Yes, sir.
I heard you reference your producing of Black Salt Corruption. What led to that? And I saw your clip of the demo screen. Are there any voice elements in that? Did you add any of that to that?
We haven't got to a point to where we've recorded the voices yet, but we will, and I'll be the voice of my character. And we're talking with several other people that we've got some NBA stars we've talked with. I have connections to some of the biggest voices in the video game industry, from Uncharted and multiple other games that you guys would all know. Devil May Cry, a lot of these guys and girls. Pikachu, Rita. I know a lot of people with voices. So at some point, that element will be ready. We're going to premiere the beta at San Diego Comic-Con. And based on how the beta goes, well, we've already had offers from Nintendo, from Microsoft, from which is Xbox, from Sony, and now we're talking with Atari. And so I'm not producing, I'm executive producing. It's a little different. But Owen Ratliff, it's his brainchild. He's worked on this. It started as a comic 13 years ago. It turned into a short film that is now turned into a video game that was meant for a cell phone. We'll be going to console, and the income that comes in from this, from the video game, will fund the first $25 million film that we will all do.
Nice.
So there's a lot to it.
We've got time for about 2 more questions.
So I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. My 8 and 5-year-old both boys. My daughter Mackenzie is 3, and my 5 and 3-year-old just, it's cool, Daddy, you're the Red Ranger. My daughter says, you keep us safe, Dad. Yes, I keep you safe. My 8-year-old has just gotten old enough in school now where he sits down with the other boys, and it wasn't too long ago I walked upstairs, and they're on the iPad, and 8-year-old boys are whispering about everything because it's the world's greatest secret, whatever it is. It could be grilled cheese sandwiches, and it's going to be a whispering conversation like this, and don't let anybody hear it. So that's my 8-year-old, and he's got the iPad, and he's sitting next to his best friend in the world, and they're talking and doing their thing, and he looks over and he's like, "Did you know my dad's famous?" And Carson looks at him and he goes, "Yeah, he's the Red Ranger." He goes, "I know." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool, but son, we're not going to run around telling the world Dad's famous. In fact, we need to keep that quiet. Number 1, it's arrogant. Number 2, we don't need visitors in the house." And somebody sent me a pop, just the head, in a box.
So not the whole pop vinyl doll, just the head.
And I put out a video on it in this Australian accent. If you go to my website, austinstjohn.biz, you can go to the projects page and you'll see some videos that I put up. That some of them are just stupid and fun, others are projects. And I went into this whole Australian thing like, "Is this voodoo, mate? What is this? What are you doing here? Why would you just send me the head, man? You're keeping the body. What are you doing with the body? I'm watching you. How'd you find my address?" We just kind of went off and had fun, but this is why we don't want my son telling me. I don't need any more mail like that. It's creepy.
All right, one last question. Yes, sir.
We shot the trailer for it last year, and it got massive hype. It did extremely well. In fact, we're all still pumped up about it. Karen Ashley is producing that film, and I think right now, have you seen the graphic novel? The ads going out for the graphic novel? So check out Facebook and go to the Order Facebook page, or the Order film, or the Order movie, and you'll see all the information on the graphic novel. She's created an entire graphic novel with all the characters. And we're selling the graphic novel in order to re-raise the financing that SAG took away from us last year because somebody told them a lie. But it's definitely something worth checking out. So check out the graphic novel. Once we get enough funding in from that, I think we're looking to finish filming probably the end of this year or early next year.
All right, well, Austin, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you sharing the stories. Give it a big round of applause for Austin St. John. And you'll be at a booth signing autographs?
I will. I'm going now.
So you can go find him at his booth, sign autographs. Again, one more time, Austin St. John, everybody. Thank you very much.